Good morning, everybody, or evening, or afternoon, whenever it is that you're looking at this. Hope you are doing well today. So the video that I put out last week was on the beginning of the BITE model, which was the letter B for behavioral control. This week has been absolutely nuts. So I'm mixing it up a little bit, and I'm going to do a sort of a part two on the reality of situations in the Jehovah's Witnesses. So the last time I did, it was 5 items, and I'm going to pick another 5, and we're going to quickly talk about that. And then the following week, I will get back on the BITE model. And so, roll credits, or intro. I don't actually have credits. All right, point number 1. The Jehovah's Witnesses are being persecuted. No, they are not special in any way. They feel that they're special, but they're not really. They're just another religion. I guess they're special as in being among the group of what would be considered cult religions. So, yay for you. So they feel that they are being persecuted by apostates and the media. Now, apostates are simply just people who are no longer part of that religion and who speak against it. So, persecuted? No. It's just people who are trying to set the facts straight, really. The media, I have heard talks to where they say that the apostates are just trying to disturb the peace of people and trying to cause divisions and cause problems, and that the media, when they cover them and say things about them that are negative, that these are headed up by apostates. Okay, sure. Some apostates will contribute to that. I'll grant you that. But the reason that they're being covered negatively is because there's a lot that's negative to bring to light. Not a whole lot of positive. But the reality is when there are negative reports, they don't respond to them. They don't comment. When they give talks and they talk about the things that apostates are saying, they don't say, well, this is wrong. For instance, this and that. They don't. They just say it's negative talk and it's critical talk. They don't give any for instances as to what they feel is inappropriate or wrong, because they can't really argue it. They don't want to highlight anything, because they're basically putting their members on a media blackout, telling them you're not supposed to view these programs, you're not supposed to listen to anything that is been created by apostates. So they don't want to bring that to the attention of the regular members of the congregations. But there are occasionally positive reports about the witnesses. From a human interest aspect of, I guess. I don't know. I have seen some reports, as few as they may be, saying positive things. They'll have spokespersons from the organization that will talk to the media. And you know what? They're real happy to have that kind of a report. So they'll say that the media is after them, but then the media is the same people. The media are the same people that are giving these positive reports, and they have no problem with that. So really the reality is they're playing the victim. And they're also hiding things. So they're not the victim, they're the perpetrator. Point number 2 is that they engage in spiritual warfare to protect Jehovah's name. What the reality is they're trying to cover their own butts. They're trying to protect the organization's name. Sorry, it looks like there's some laundry going on over there, so I hope you're not hearing too much of that. So they are also, they're basically lying. They lie on the stand. They make every effort to hide crimes that have been committed in the congregations. If they think that they're going to be investigated in a particular case, they have given instructions to destroy elders' notes because they don't want these things to come to light and be used against them in a court of law. I just a few days ago was watching a video from a person who went through a court case, and in that court case, the lawyers for the persecution. Let's try this again. In that court case, the lawyers for the prosecution asked for the elders' notes from the various elders' meetings that they had with this person, and they couldn't find them for some reason. They just disappeared, so they were destroyed. Fortunately, there were some isolated notes that were saved, and those were able to be used in the case, and that helped to prosecute this person and ultimately convict them. So this was a case of someone, a young woman who was being abused by her father, or also her sister was being abused by their father, and he was put into prison for a long time. So it was a positive thing that he was no longer able to hurt anyone else, because he had apparently been cheating on their mother, and it was a lot of sisters in the congregation that had been involved with this particular one. He was an elder, and he was dangerous, and justice was served. It's interesting though that the governing body tries to maintain that this really doesn't happen. We don't hide pedophiles. That's ridiculous. Yeah, you do. And we know that certain things have come to light in Australia. The Australian Royal Commission a few years ago found that over 1,000 perpetrators had been not reported to police. So I think I may have discussed that in a previous video. They're happy to hide these people so that they can basically, save face and say that, oh, it's the other religions that's doing that. It's the Catholics. It's this, that's the other. Not us, But it definitely does happen in the Jehovah's Witness organization. The reality is, it just makes them seem hypocritical and dishonest and shady. And, they are supposed to obey the secular authorities, but they're more than happy to not do that when they're supposed to be turning these people in so that they can, be dealt with in an appropriate manner and not hurt other people. Because it's sad when, it's very frustrating when you see the things that have happened to one person, and then because they're covering it up, it happens to another person and another person and another person and so on. And they continue to go free. So we're happy to see them get put away. Okay, I think we're on point number 3 now. I have a list, just some notes that I made in my phone earlier of what to discuss, and I'm going out of order, so I have to actually remember which one we're on. So I think we're on 3 now. If not, oops. So they say that Jehovah provides new light and refines understanding, and because of this, they discontinue literature that is out of date. Reality is, they come across as dishonest and revisionist in their teachings. I have never been cool with the fact that the teachings will be this way, and then they're this way, and then they're this way, and then this way. They just change. Like, I can understand an out-of-date practice that society says you should no longer do. Or something that's been done in the past that is clearly wrong, and they go, well, you know what, that's wrong. With Jehovah's Witnesses, they come up with a teaching, and then they just want to tweak it a little bit to make it fit their narrative, to cover up the fact that, you know, the end's coming, and then you reach a certain point, and then that teaching is no longer going to work at this point in time. So what do we do? Oh, I know, overlapping generations. That's what we'll do. Never mind that these people are long gone and dead. We're just going to sort of piggyback this other generation onto this one so that we have a little extra time. But it doesn't make any sense. Generations are only like 20 years apart, something like that, you know? They're not 100 and something years. It's just ridiculous the way that they try and spin things to make it fit their narrative. Laundry's going. Okay. Let's see. We should be on to number 4 now. Okay. Number 4, they engage in a life-saving work. The preaching work. Because the scripture says that this good news will be preached, and all the inhabited earth will witness to all the nations, and then the end will come. So they're basically saying that they have to go out and talk to people so that they can save them before the end comes. So that, you know, the work, they have to speak to as many people as they can. They need to talk to everybody, and then the end will come. Everybody gets that opportunity to make a decision about whether to be one of Jehovah's people or not. Problem is, there's a lot of people on the earth, and there's a lot of people in places where the work is not allowed. So mainland China, North Korea, areas that you can go, like India, I believe, you can preach there, but there's a lot of people there. The chances of them, and their little tiny percentage of the population being Jehovah's Witnesses, talking to this gigantic, enormous piece of the population, there's no chance that they're going to be able to speak to everybody. So it's kind of doesn't make any sense. Also, recent teachings say that everybody that dies at Armageddon, no, sorry, I take that back. Everybody that's died before, who isn't one of Jehovah's Witnesses, will be resurrected, and will have 1,000 years, basically, to make that decision whether they're going to, get on board with being a servant of Jehovah or not. So, why do the preaching work if they're just going to get resurrected anyway? Why not just leave them alone and let God sort it out, as you say? Really wish the laundry wasn't going. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's just, it seems to me that it is busy work. It gives the people a sense of purpose, something to do while they serve God. Something to do that the governing body says you must do. Because the governing body wants to control you. Okay. What is going to be my last point? Point number 5. This one's real loosey-goosey. I probably won't do much editing here. It's been an insane week, so that's the reason I'm doing this, because I just want to keep it kind of this way so that I can get this done. I've been so busy I haven't really done much in the way of TikToks all week. We're actually working on our house, so yeah. We're going to actually have a house that's in decent shape. So, 5. They look forward to the vindication of Jehovah's name and the destruction of God's enemies. The reality is, they come across as cold and heartless. You watch broadcasts of governing body members, Tony Morris, especially talking about God's enemies and lighting a match and saying it's just going to be like a puff of smoke and poof. Ain't that going to be great? He just comes across as somebody who's just itching to watch people die, just because they don't agree with him. People can have a difference of opinion and still exist in the same world together. They don't all have to believe exactly the same thing. They don't have to be the robots that, go door to door and give money and, live their life a certain way and deny themselves of different things. They don't have to do that. They can live their lives and everything's A-okay. So, why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like, everybody's gonna die that isn't one of Jehovah's Witnesses? Yeah, it's like, I can't imagine being, related to a person like that, because I'd be like, you're a terrible person. That's what I think. I think people that have that view are terrible people. Live and let live. Believe what you believe, but don't hurt other people. And everything's okay. And that's it. That is my presentation for today. Yeah, I hope this is okay. I appreciate your watching, and next week I will get back on board with the whole bite model thing. We're going to talk about the information control. Yeah, I do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Who says, love your faces? I got to come up with a catchphrase. Bazinga? No, that's taken. Well, I'll figure it out. Yeah, thank you, and I will catch you next week. Please like and subscribe and all that stuff. And have a great day. Bye-bye.
Oh.